Hi, Kevin.
Hi, everybody.
How are you doing?
Doing great.
We were here
Good.
last year for you.
Awesome. Thanks for showing up.
Well, after
round
what,
two.
after what Ryan went through, you kidding?
So, Kevin, you star in one of the most intense television shows, like probably in history. How's the atmosphere on set like? Do you guys have a chance to have fun at all, or is it just all work, all no play?
Well, I don't think it's like a sort of a practical jokey kind of set.
Right.
But we get along great.
Mhm.
It's not a set, certainly not when I'm there, where people are yelling and screaming and pissed off. I mean, me occasionally, but nobody else. The crew is incredible, works very, very hard, and we work really quickly. I've never worked on anything that works as quickly as it, partly because of our director of photography, and partly because of the nature of the cameras now, not to get too technical, and the way that we shoot it. We shoot the whole thing handheld pretty much. So for anywhere between 14 to sometimes 18 hours, the boys are holding these cameras on their shoulders. And we have the fluidity to just kind of run and gun and shoot and grab things. And so there's there is an intensity to it just because of just the energy.
Right.
And certainly I'm not one of those people that can go, listen, you just killed somebody, or someone just stabbed you, or you're chasing someone about to die, and then turn it off and hey, well, whatever,
Right.
It's I can do that to a certain extent, but I can't do it all the time.
Right.
So I have to keep sort of in that headspace. But that being said, in our own way, we do have a good time. And when the lights came up on the room today, I looked and there's Marco's got like 15 seats, and there's people from the crew that on the day off, on their long weekend, because we're off tomorrow, actually came down to Comic-Con to see us. I mean, it's like, why do that?
Right.
Because they dig it. They like doing what they do.
Kevin, do you think the scene where you were stabbed, there was a message for the writer that not even you were safe in this show?
Yeah. Well, look, I've always said that there's no job security here. Talk about if you got a show that's got a lot of surprises. Kill me next year. I mean, no one would see that coming.
So
I
now
don't think.
you're sober and teaching, so can you tell us more about season 2, where you think you're going to land?
Yeah, sober teaching. Hart is doing better. He's trying to move past the death of Claire. Trying to open himself up to family. He's involved with this his niece, who is his brother is dead. Was a fireman, and his niece is a New York City cop, and they are starting to kindle a relationship, which is kind of cool and interesting.
How about Connie Nielsen's character?
Connie is someone that is involved in a subway attack early on, and I, stick my nose in there again, even though I'm not FBI, and and they actually call me in to help with a little bit of consulting, and I meet her, and I'm just like, whoa, okay. And she is dynamic, beautiful, obviously, and in a way, so different than me, and is that thing of being attracted to someone that is really, really different. She speaks all these languages, and she likes art, and all these things. Ryan, it's not him. I mean, but that was funny kind of way, similar to my relationship with Joe.
What about, I think another catalyst for him was the death of Agent Parker.
Absolutely.
I mean, how does that carry over into season 2?
Well, I think that, look, here's the thing, is that even before season 1 began, this was a guy, and Kevin Williamson one-lined it to me early on, maybe our first meeting. He said, this is a man whose life has been surrounded by death. And I was like off to the races in terms of backstory for stuff that you don't even see, but eventually some of it made it into season last season. He believes that when people get close to him, they die or they get hurt. And so he is constantly there. And Agent Parker is obviously a great example of that. On a personal note, look, I mean, it's the nature of the beast, but it's hard when people that you like and you work with and you're fond of and you like their work die. It happens all the time in our show. It's just
Is
No.
this, is this going to affect him in a dark way? Like, you know, he's not a conventional hero.
Well, he's not a conventional hero for sure, and I think that we'll see. You know, I mean, the beginning of the season, he's definitely in a lighter place, and I can't imagine that it's going to stay there for very long.
I mean, he really pushed it. I mean, he did things that were very questionable
Mhm.
because of the circumstances.
Right.
He went to a dark place a couple of times.
Yeah, that's not going to change. I think we go there again.
Can you talk to us a bit about the relationship with Mike Weston?
Yeah, so it's great. I mean, I you know, Sean is a fantastic actor, and his character had a tremendous sort of journey last year. Went from bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and you know, sort of yay rah rah, and he just went down the rabbit hole. And when you meet him this year, I would say he's a little bit more in the place where Ryan was last year. You know, he's not an alcoholic, but he is certainly not doing so great. And so, like any other relationship, we get back together, or I see him again. Do we join forces? Do we separate? All of these things will be kind of working out during the season.
Is Joe your main nemesis this season? Joe
Oh, I've got a lot of nemesi.
Karen?
You famously, this is your first regular TV series
Yeah.
after a very storied film career. Has the experience been what you expected it to be? Or how has it been for you compared to a movie?
Oh, it's been great. You know, I mean, I think that I came to television at such an amazing time for television. You know, and I'm happy to be part of it. You know, I still love movies. I still want to make movies, and the 15 episode season allows me to do that. You know, I can get something else in. But I'm such a consumer of television now, and I am, you know, so happy to have the gig. Look, I mean, it's great, and it's like I said, you know, one of the best parts is that I love to act, and I just get to act so much.
What
More.
are we watching on TV now?
What am I watching on TV?
Yeah.
Oh, I just binge watched Broadchurch. I like Orphan Black. I think that's super cool. Luther. Oh gosh, you know, I mean all the kind of the killing. You know, I'm sad that that's not coming back. You know, yeah, everything I mentioned had murder in it. Now I'm trying to think of you know, something that's a little lighter. Yeah.
Yeah. And the big hits like Breaking Bad.
Oh, I love Breaking Bad. Yeah. It's crazy about Breaking Bad.
Can you expand a little bit on some of the foes, the new people that are coming in to Hardy's life?
Well, let me just say that there is this kind of family theme. That's something that becomes part of it. So just kind of keep that in mind.
What was
But-
it like to do the phone calls with Joe? That he would
Really-
call you.
Yeah, it's good.
Those
yeah.
were some really good scenes.
Yeah, it's good,
Trying
man.
to
Look, but part of the one of the great parts about doing this thing was the opportunity to be working with James, and just by nature of us having split up, there's not that many times we were able to be together. You know, there was that one great scene in the middle of the year where our paths crossed, and I didn't get him. You know, hopefully we're going to have a little bit more of that. But the phone calls were great. I mean, that's got to figure some way for us to communicate. All right, thanks
Great,
everybody.
thanks, Kevin.
Kevin.